Welcome, baseball family, to this Thursday Night Live episode. My name is Brad, and on my left is the winner of this week's dance-off, Mr. Brig.
I needed
How
one.
are you doing today, Brig?
I am exhausted. And for all the right reasons, though. I'm very well positioned to be exhausted.
Well exhausted.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's good. It's been very
That's
good.
good. That's always good. It's a good way to be. So we got some stuff to get into. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm very excited about this last weekend. Excited to talk about it. A little nervous, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit pessimistic, but we'll get there. Before we get into anything, though, let's tell you about New Era. If you've listened to the show at all, you know we love hats. Our favorite hats are made by New Era Cap. From spring training through the postseason, the Bush Leagues to the Bigs, New Era Cap is the official headwear of Major League Baseball. One of our favorite episodes every year is ranking the newest minor league Copa caps. Now we have the ability to bring you, our baseball family, 15% off every New Era cap you buy. Go to neweracap.com/baseballtogether and use code baseballtogether, one word, at checkout. Again, use code baseballtogether, no space, at neweracap.com/baseballtogether for 15% off your order. Some exclusions apply. Jump down to the comments and let us know which New Era cap you'll be getting next. Very excited about this. So very excited.
Me too. It's awesome.
Okay. First things first, we got a big old thing that happened last night on Wednesday. Ronald Acuna Jr. didn't just join, he established the 40-70 club. First player ever with 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases in a single season.
Amazing.
I think this is outstanding.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Before we get too far into this, though, Brig, I'm curious because I've heard people talk about the bigger bases, limiting pitcher checks over on runners and everything like that, like pickoff moves, everything. Does any of that taint those 70 stolen bases? Or is it just he happens to be like, this is the time he plays in, and he's taking advantage of it because he's super fast?
Dude is super fast. He's adapted to the scenario and better than everybody else.
Could you imagine how many bags Ricky Henderson would have stolen in this situation, though?
Oh, man.
Prime Henderson probably had at least 200 bags.
Oh, yeah. You mean in one season?
I was looking at it, and he had well over 100 several times. Or he had over 100 several times.
Yeah. It's possible.
I don't know. Like he'd have to get on base 200 times, right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
Honestly, if I'm Ricky Henderson and with these rules, I'm bunting to get on, and then I'm stealing second. Probably stealing third as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. The thing that was really interesting about this whole thing, though, was this happened in extra innings. They stopped the game, celebrated it. He took the base, he pulled it out of the ground, a la Ricky Henderson. Am I right?
Yep.
And then I'm assuming it was the chief of the grounds crew brought out a new bag. They put it in place. They set the other one aside so he could take it home, put it in his office on his trophy case, whatever. This 100%. Is the thing that I thought was really interesting was that the Cubs, I know the Cubs broadcasters for sure, because they were just like, are you serious with this? And some fans really took umbrage with the Braves celebrating Acuna in the middle, like in the moment, in the middle of the 10th inning, rather than waiting for the game to end.
Yeah,
they were straight up like not okay with this, with what's going on, and specifically because this was a meaningful game for the Cubs as far as the wild card race goes.
Correct. Sure, of course.
Do you think it's fair or foul for them to stop the game in this situation? Do they need to be more aware of what's going on? Do you think it's okay for them to stop the game in the situation? Because never forget, Mark McGwire, when he hit, what was it, 62? When he hit 62, they stopped everything.
Everything
When he got 62. So, what do you think?
It's a great question. My opinion is that it's okay to slow things down. It's okay to pause. I don't have a problem with any of this, especially because it was in Atlanta. It's his home crowd, his home turf, everything like that. We all saw it coming. I don't think anybody should have been surprised by this. This was his second stolen bag in the game. So we saw it coming, right? Everybody knew this was even just a possibility, if not an inevitability, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that had it been an away, this is my problem. Had it been an away situation where he was not at Truist Park,
Mm-hmm.
that home club would have slowed things down for him too, and everyone would have patted them on the back for sportsmanship. But what's happening is because it's in Atlanta and because there are playoff implications, I think everybody else got a little bit upset. But you reverse the situation, I don't think anybody gets upset. So I think there's a double standard at play. Obviously, we'll never know that. There's no way to prove that. That's just what my intuition's telling me.
I absolutely agree with you on that. I think that if it had been an away game, I think that they would have done that too, and should have done that. I think it was absolutely the right move because nobody has ever done this before.
Nope.
Ever done 40-70. And this is the thing too, is that umpires know this stuff is coming. Major League Baseball knows this stuff is coming. They brief everybody on this stuff before it happens. And even if like it's not like premeditated that he's going to take the bag out of the ground and they're going to send it in the dugout, they have to be aware that there's probably going to be a delay.
Yeah.
Right. That the umpire went out there, he brushed off the plate, let them do their thing. That he didn't call a pitch clock violation on. I think it was Ozzie Albies was up next. You know, because he's letting the guy have his moment, and very well he should.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, for all I care, like forget about the playoff race at that point. History is being made.
Yeah,
I don't care who it is.
Yeah, that's the hard part though, because I mean, Cubs fans are still really emotionally invested in the season, and they should be.
Right.
So I don't blame Cubs fans for being upset either. Honestly.
Yeah, they were going to lose that game anyway, though. I think if that was stolen base 65, they'd have lost that game because Albies was driving him in no matter what.
Yeah, he was. That and the combination. Can we just take a minute and talk about the combination of Acuna and Albies back to back? Like it
so
is
scary,
just
so dangerous.
It's incredible. It's like Stockton to Malone, right? It's so automatic. It's insane.
Yeah, so, you know the pick and roll is coming, but you can't stop it. You know Acuna's going to get on still second, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's great.
But you know what, though? He was out. The throw beat him.
Mm-hmm.
But Dansby Swanson couldn't hold on to it.
He muffed it. Yeah, he
that
muffed
was the problem.
Yeah, and
that's half the battle.
Well, and Swanson being a former teammate and all the celebration at the end of the game with him being kind of like cold-shouldered by it a little bit. It's what it looked like. If you watch certain outlets and certain footage of the celebration at the end of the game, it does look like Swanson kind of gets, ignored by his former team. And that, to me, that's interesting. And I think a lot of Cubs fans are using that as another reason to be upset on behalf of Ozzie Albies. Dansby Swanson.
The key word is former. He's no longer a teammate.
Yeah.
You don't get to be part of it, whether you want to or not.
Before we move on, G. Moreland jumps in the comments. He says that there are other players in Major League Baseball that are as fast as Ronald Acuna Jr., and they're not stealing 70 bases. And that is a fair point, my friend. That is exactly right.
Yeah, because I don't know how he compares to Julio, but that's because Julio doesn't get on base like Acuna does.
Right.
Nobody gets on base like Acuna has this year. The fact that he was able to steal 70 bags, he had that many opportunities, and that's the thing that's crazy to think about. Is it not just that he got them, that he had that many opportunities, because he doesn't steal second every time he's there. He doesn't steal third every time he's on second.
No, he does. Yeah.
He's got that in excess, and there are a lot of guys who are, like you said, as fast that haven't had the opportunities, so they're not even close.
Good call.
Crazy
Good
to
call,
think about.
George. Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
let's talk about emotional support animals for just a couple minutes, Brig. So MLB allows emotional support dogs in ballparks, which I think makes sense. I
Yep.
think it's great. Absolutely. But according to the Philadelphia Phillies, all other animals are prohibited, especially crocodilians or alligators. Now, you
Like
would
this
think
one.
this wouldn't be a problem. However, this came up this week. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, Maria McClellan,
McIlwain.
reported that
Marie
a Phillies
McIlwain.
fan named Joe Henney attempted to bring his emotional support alligator, Wally Gator, into Citizens Bank Ballpark on Wednesday's game against the Pirates, and
Yeah.
was denied.
There's a picture. I got a picture of it up for
Yeah,
everybody to see. That's Wally Gator. And what's interesting about Wally Gator is everybody seems to know who Wally Gator is. And if you didn't before, you probably do now. Wally Gator apparently has a rather sizable social media following. He has 26,000 followers on Instagram and 111,000 followers on TikTok. This alligator, and it's pretty cool. I looked into it a little bit. They're not only is he an emotional support alligator, but they do goodwill tours at retirement homes and different places like that where they can allow the gator to be, and they're working on expanding emotional support capabilities and things like that. So a cursory check shows that this is not only necessarily a stunt, although that who's to say if that was or wasn't part of the plan, but there is a larger agenda as far as I'm aware with Wally Gator to
awareness.
to make social change. Yeah.
So
which
I don't
which is
know. I
great.
don't know when you found the 110,000. Was that
111. Yeah.
or what? Sorry, 111,000. He's up to 112.2, and one more with me. So
Yeah, I did too. I thought two more.
this is the thing. So I am fascinated by alligators. Absolutely fascinated by them.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as they're in the zoo, I don't want
Yeah.
anything to do
Right.
with. If there's not a cage between me and that gator, I want nothing to do with it. So good
Yeah.
job on the Phillies. I would mess myself, Brig, if I was walking down through the concourse at a baseball game with my holding hot dog in one hand and I see
Yeah.
an alligator. I would be out of there in an instant.
Okay, I'm going to pull
Absolutely.
the photo up because there's something you need to see there, Brad. Obviously, the vest, the
Yes.
emotional support vest that
Yeah.
clearly, However, if you'll look, there is no muzzle of any kind.
No muzzle.
There's no attempt to keep that jaw closed.
Wally Gator does not have, as a support animal, does not have the same appeal as like somebody's golden doodle that is
Yeah,
wearing the vest.
I
Right?
totally agree.
Like,
I totally
no.
agree. It makes my Rottweiler look like a teddy bear.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any Rottweiler look like a teddy bear. And the
Yeah.
thing that I think is funny is that he sleeps with this alligator. He sits
He
on the
does.
couch with it and watches TV.
Yeah.
This thing's 5.5 feet long. This
Yeah.
is not a little caiman. This is a full blown 5.5 foot alligator, and it
Yeah.
blows my mind.
I know.
Good on you, sir. But anyway.
Yeah. Way to go,
All right.
buddy.
So we have a wild and crazy weekend of baseball coming up. It's the last weekend of the regular season, so races that are in I don't want to say that.
I don't even know what to
We're in
say.
the races that we're in the thick of need to get wrapped up.
It's so crazy, though.
At the latest. So here we go. Let's take a look at what's going to happen.
I can't
Or what could
remember the
happen.
last time this many teams were sitting on this few games as decision-making games. I can't remember the last time it was this.
It was
time.
pretty close to this 2 years ago.
Was it?
Remember going into last weekend because there was a potential 4-way tie between, I want to say it's between the Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, and then there was somebody else. Like we were like really
Yeah,
pushing for that 4-way tie.
that's
And
right.
remember
That's right.
the
I do
Yankees and
remember
Red Sox won, so it like ruined all of our fun.
that. Yeah,
So by
that's
like
right.
by like what like 2:30 my time, I was like, well, it's all over. So the Mariners pulled all their
Yeah.
starters, everything. Anyway,
Okay, but
so
that
this
was a
is
four-way tie in one scenario. This is like the American League and the National League. Everybody's
it's
still sitting
crazy.
on pins and needles.
Yeah. Yeah, because by that point, the National League was already wrapped up all around.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
let's take a look at this first. Here are your reminders for your clinchers. The Braves have clinched their division and also best record in the National League. The Dodgers have clinched their division. The Brewers have clinched theirs. Divisions across the National League are taken care of going into the final weekend. The Phillies have clinched a playoff spot. That's it as far as the wild card goes.
right.
It is still open with 3-4 games left, depending on your team. The Orioles and Rays have both clinched playoff spots, but nobody's clinched that division yet. And the Twins have claimed the Central. So we have in the
What's
hunt
theirs? Yeah.
for their divisions, the Orioles are on top of the Rays by 2.5 games with 4 left. I believe the Orioles are playing tonight. In
Yeah, they
the
are.
AL West, the Rangers are on top of the Astros by 2.5. The Mariners are 4 games back. But this is the crazy thing: the Mariners and Rangers are playing 4 games this weekend.
Yeah. The
So
last 4 games of the season.
yeah, so the Mariners, if they were to, by some miracle, sweep the Rangers, they beat the Rangers 1 time this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to throw it up there.
Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
needs to happen.
Yeah. So anyway, it does need to happen.
That's where we're at.
And for the wild card race, the Rays are in first place in the wild card by 10 games. So they're not playing for the wild card. They want the division. And absolutely, good on them. Go get it if they can, right? The Blue Jays are up in the second spot by just a half a game. Half a game, Brig.
Right.
They could still blow this. And then
I
the
know.
Astros are even, and the Mariners are a game and a half back of the Astros after getting swept this weekend, or earlier this week. So
That's right.
despite the sweep, they didn't lose a whole lot of ground, which
Which is
blows my
crazy.
mind.
Yeah, that makes
Because,
no sense.
oh, man, you would have thought, Brig, you would have. Oh, no, they didn't get swept. Sorry, they won game 2 of that series. That's why they didn't lose a lot of ground. But you would have thought after game 1 of that series that they had lost like 4 games. It's like, oh my gosh.
Bro, both of us turned it off.
I didn't watch any of those games that series.
I turned it off. I was texting
I
you.
couldn't bring myself to watch it.
I thought you were watching.
I think I watched a little. I don't know because
but
I don't know because we had football practice Monday night, pictures Tuesday night, and a game Wednesday night. So I don't think I watched any of those games. I couldn't handle it.
It was
So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch the games against the Rangers.
Yeah, I had to turn it off. It was rough.
So anyway, then the National League wild card, the Diamondbacks are up 2 games. The Cubs and Marlins are tied for that 3rd spot at even. And then the Reds are a game and a half back of them. Now,
the D-backs lost to the White Sox today 3-1.
Oh, they did. So they've only got a game and a half on those 2. But the Marlins hold the tiebreaker over the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big deal there.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Man, the D-backs should have won that game against the White Sox. Holy
They
cow.
had to. They needed it.
Big time.
That's such a dumb loss.
So these are your weekend matchups that you need to pay attention to because they have a direct effect on what happens with postseason entry and seeding. In the American League, the Red Sox at the Orioles, the Rays at the Blue Jays, the Rangers at the Mariners. Oh, so scared.
Oh, man.
And then the Astros at the D-backs.
Yikes.
So, the only team not in any kind of mix or hunt there is the Red Sox. They have a huge opportunity to go out there and be like, it doesn't matter. Just go win, fellas. No pressure. No pressure.
None. Right.
So they could really play spoilers with the Orioles. The Astros they're funny because they have not really been able to beat anybody besides Seattle the last 2 weeks.
Let's hope that holds for Seattle's benefit and Arizona's benefit, because if the Houston Astros just come tearing into town and chewing up the D-backs, everything goes going to go sideways for everybody but Houston.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is then you've got the World Series champs going to the playoffs red hot.
Yep.
So that could be trouble for everybody should they go into Phoenix and just wreck the D-backs.
Yeah. Oh,
So
man, I'm so nervous.
Your National League series, again, the Astros and D-backs, that's an interleague series. The Cubs at the Brewers. The Brewers have clinched and everything. They're good to go, but the Cubs need to win, and the Brewers would love nothing more than to beat the Cubs and keep them out of the playoffs.
Right?
But absolutely love that as a division rival.
Talk about a rivalry situation, man. It's just huge.
Yeah. And then the Marlins and the Reds actually have it pretty, I don't want to say pretty easy, but they've got the easiest road of the bunch. The Marlins are going to be at the Pirates, and the Reds will be at the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals have clinched their second worst season since 1918, I think is what I saw.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there's going to be some pride there because it's the Cardinals. You would think that those guys would come out and fight and really swing hard. And like I said, with the Red Sox, got nothing to lose. Just go play baseball, right?
Yeah.
But so they could really play spoilers to the Reds, and I'm sure, again, they'd like to because of the division. And then the Pirates, you never know what you're going to get with the Pirates since
you just
June.
don't. Not this season.
So,
yeah. It's rough.
Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we have go ahead.
Well, I was going to jump into magic numbers.
Magic numbers. Yep, we have magic numbers. Go ahead, Brig.
Okay, so magic numbers in the American League are the Orioles are 1. The magic number is 1 for them to clinch the division. It's 1. Oh, that's stressful. And the Rangers for the division, the magic number is 2, and it's 1 for the playoffs. Blue Jays 3 for the playoffs, magic number. Astros 2 for a playoff spot. The Mariners elimination number. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead with the Mariners elimination number.
Mariners elimination number is 3. And right now they hold the tiebreaker with the Astros and Blue Jays. So they just need to pull to the even spot, to get on that middle 0 spot, to even have a chance of getting in, just to get in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So reminder with the magic numbers. So the Rangers, for their magic number to be 2 to win the division, that's based on the Mariners since they're the ones that are farther down. So this is any combination of Rangers wins and Mariners losses. The Rangers will clinch the division,
which could be today.
Yeah, it could be. Actually, sorry, for the division, it's a combination of Rangers wins and Astros losses.
Oh, yeah.
For the playoffs, it's Rangers wins and Mariners losses because it's the next team down. But
that could be today, then, the playoff options, then. That's what I mean.
It could be. Are the Astros playing? I don't think the Astros are playing today, are they?
No, they're not. But the Rangers and Mariners start in
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So the playoffs, they could clinch the playoffs.
Clinch the playoffs tonight. Yeah.
In a couple hours. Yeah. So Brig and I actually found a really interesting graphic about tiebreaker scenarios. So we could potentially end up with a 4-team tie in the American League. So if there happens to be a 4-way tie between the Rangers, Blue Jays, Astros, and Mariners, this is how it would shake out. This is crazy to me.
Hold on, I'm going to put the graphic up for us.
Okay, I'll get started on it. You go ahead and get that pulled up. Yeah, if there's a 4-way tie, the Mariners would actually win the division, which blows my
mind. Okay, here you go.
And then your wild cards would be the Astros and the Rangers, and then missing out would be the Blue Jays. Right. Now, should the Blue Jays clinch the second wild card, and there be a 3-way tie in the AL West, the Mariners again would win the division, and your wild cards would be the Blue Jays and the Astros. The Rangers would be the odd man out. If the Astros win the AL West and there is a 3-way tie for the 2 wild card spots between the other 3 teams, it would be the Rangers and the Mariners, and the Blue Jays would miss out again. And then if the Rangers win the West and there's a 3-way tie for the wild card between the other 3 teams, the Mariners and Blue Jays would be in, and the Astros would be out. Brig, talk about putting some meaning on the regular season, because the Mariners, won the season series against the Astros. They tied with the Blue Jays, but because they have a better intra-division record than the Blue Jays do in their division, that's the tiebreaker there.
It's madness.
So win your series, win your division games, and you could find yourself in the playoffs in some wonky tiebreaker.
Right.
Like, that's crazy to me that the Mariners, with everything that they're dealing with right now, could still win all these tiebreakers and get in the playoffs if these other teams just fall flat on their face. Do it again with me, Brig.
Yeah, that's right. I'm with you.
It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I saw that, and I actually was super optimistic after that. I was pretty pessimistic most of the day. I wore this black shirt for a reason.
Yeah,
but I'm feeling pretty optimistic now, so I pulled out the Mariner City Connect hat tonight. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be bananas this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, National League Magic numbers. Got the D-backs. Theirs is 2 for the playoffs. They were not able to get one of those tonight, unfortunately for them. And then the Marlins is 4 for the playoffs. Like I said, they hold the tiebreaker over the Cubs. So that puts the Cubs elimination number at 4. And the Reds elimination number is at 11. So
3.
Sorry, 3. I don't know where I got 11 out of that.
I don't either.
There's not 11 games left anywhere, Brig.
No. Nope.
Anyway, while I recover from that, why don't you tell them about Versus Game?
To baseball family, we are always asking what you think about the topics that we bring up on the show. And now there is a quick and easy way to share your thoughts with us. We've partnered with VersusGame to bring you games where you can make money from participating in polls, trivia, and predictions. That's right. If you're on the winning side of a poll, or if you get a trivia question or a prediction right, then you can win real money. Seriously, real dollar bills. So you can play for free if you want. You can buy ticket bundles if you want, and you can play against other listeners of the podcast or Versus Game users. So head over to btpod.onversus.com on your mobile browser. Sign up to play our polls and our trivia games. That's btpod.onversus.com and sign up to play Versus Game with us.
Excellent.
We have a couple of live questions.
We do.
They're there right now. Go find them.
We have some there, so go check them out. Before we move on, I want to tell you about Patreon, baseball family. Don't forget, this is probably the easiest and most effective way to support the show, most direct. You can head over to patreon.com and search Baseball Together, or click the link down in the description of every single episode. You can head over to there. We have 5 tiers of support. Go check them out, see what they're all about. Everybody gets a bullpen cut and a sticker, and then there's other specific things for each tier, all the way up to $500, which is a doozy.
Correct.
So go check it out for yourself.
That's my favorite one. I really need somebody to take us up on that, because there's something that I really want to do bad.
And I really want you to do it as well.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's amazing.
Brad put it on there. Brad put it on there and was like, he told me about it. He didn't even ask me. He just did it. Oh, so good. Okay. There's your teaser. Go find it.
All right. Okay. So your national TV schedule for this weekend is pretty sparse. No Apple TV Plus this weekend. A lot of people, I'm sure, will celebrate over that, because a lot of people don't like that anyway. So you're not missing out if you don't have Apple TV Plus. Saturday, baseball is back on Fox. Very excited. Got these games are at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. Got the Red Sox of the Orioles. The Red Sox are 76 and 83. The Orioles are 100 and 59. And then the Rangers at the Mariners is your other game at that same time. And the Rangers are 89 and 69. The Mariners are 85 and 73. So a couple of really good series with a lot on the line. Both of them.
Yeah. Sunday, all games will start between 3:05 and 3:15 p.m. Eastern. All the games will. There is no Wake Up in Baseball on Peacock. There is no baseball on ESPN. You have to get it all on MLB.TV at this point for Sunday baseball games.
That's right. Or your local station if you have
channels.
Sure, yeah. That's what we call it at our house. You have channels.
Yeah, you have channels. YouTube TV. I use YouTube TV for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Nice. Your series to watch this weekend, we talked about that with all the playoff stuff. Just keep your eyes on those, and you're gonna you're gonna know what's going on and how everything's gonna be shaken out. It's gonna be crazy.
Correct.
Absolutely crazy. And because it's so crazy, we actually are not giving picks this weekend.
Yep.
Just to recap of last week, I had a miraculous 3-0 weekend.
Oh,
So
no.
my final record for the season, Brig, 36-33, ended it over 500.
Oh,
That
man.
makes me very happy.
Look at you.
So excited about that.
That's
Then
awesome.
Brig, you were an unfortunate 0-3 last week, so your ending record is 27-40. But like we said, we're not going to give any recommendations on gambling on baseball this weekend because I personally would not, because teams are resting their starters or just flat out do not care at this point.
Yeah.
It's just way too unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get. So
here, one thing I do want to bring up before we wrap it up is I've had a lot of people jumping into my DMs and calls and texts, and they're asking when will we know if we've won podcast of the year for the Internet Baseball Writers Association of America. And I wanted to let everybody know we will know October 1st. You can jump on the Internet Baseball Writers Association of America's YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern on October 1st to watch the broadcast ceremony, whatever thing they're going to do. If you would like for the announcement, or you can wait and we will tell you at the next broadcast that we do either on the big show. In fact, we should probably do it on the big show and that Thursday night live. Just to
it's going to be on
sure
Sideline Sports on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sunday, October 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. So that's the answer for all of you wondering. We're sitting here waiting too.
We'll have an update on the big show next week.
Yeah, sure. We will. So anyway, that's the answer to that question.
Yeah, very good. But baseball family, thank you so much for joining us this week on this live episode of the Baseball Together podcast. Like we said, we'll catch you on the big show next week, and we will know for sure where we stand as far as podcast of the year is. So thanks for joining us. We will catch you next week.